god, it's actually done. I know this show has like 2 other finales, but the difference is that this show never really had an ending. It just kind of stopped. But now we got an ending. So you're probably saying to yourself, I wonder what Slov thinks of the 4-episode finale. Well, my friend, I'll tell you what I think. I have the same opinion that every limp soy boy consumer out there on Twitter has.
It's not great. It's phenomenal.
It's downright phenomenal. You can tell that Filoni has been waiting to tell this story for a decade. It's easy to see that this man has daydreamed and contemplated this ending that he was unjustifiably robbed of for so long, and he finally got his chance to tell it. Now, like everyone has been saying, these shows, or movie I should say, because that's what these last 4 episodes are, they're a movie, just from how it's presented to the way it's paced, directed, written, and scored. This is a feature-length production split into 4 parts, and to be quite frankly honest with you, it should have been cut as one movie. Starts with a movie, ends with a movie. Just my opinion. But back to where I was. Now, like everyone has been saying, these episodes are quite astounding. Now, what everyone won't tell you is how it's astounding, or they will at least give you general and obvious reasons as to why it's good. They won't really elaborate. I'm here to tell you the nitty-gritty stuff. Now, we are going to break down things that are quite subtle and things that not everyone would pick up. Stuff like this.
You might not have even noticed, but your brain did.
Alright, so we start off with the announcer guy doing his little spiel on what's been going on the past 7 years since the show was cancelled. Right off the bat, you can easily tell that the animation is tons better and probably higher quality than the previous 8 episodes in the season. We make our way down to the Battle of Yerbana with the 212th and Cody. Now, I did notice one thing that I will actually critique here. I still think these episodes are amazing, so don't get pissed. Everything has its problems, I'm just pointing it out. Now, when you're going to attack an enemy, and you need to attack head-on, maybe you shouldn't charge at a wall with tons of cannons behind it, aimed at a little narrow space that you're running on. Not to mention tons of battle droids are shooting at said space as well. Yeah, they did this on Geonosis in Season 2, but 1, they had no choice, and 2, they had a plan back then to attack it while Rex provided the distraction. I assume Obi-Wan came up with this plan on the bridge since he leads the 212th. If that's the case, that's really shocking, and I'm astounded that nobody called him out on this. Great generals always have another trick up their sleeve, and I don't see the other part of the plan. That's probably because there is no other part of the plan. Or at least Obi-Wan's plan. You're just attacking head-on. Granted, they had gunships in the air, but they got torn to pieces. You have Cody charging these droids and almost get hit by a giant tank shell. Luckily, Obi-Wan saved him from the tank round, subtly giving you a reminder on how Cody will eventually betray Obi-Wan later with a giant tank shell. Judging from the way Obi-Wan enters the scene, it appears that he is not completely aware of what's going on. Considering that he's the general, I'm shocked at Obi-Wan's lack of efficient leadership in this battle. I mean, maybe Cody was the one who gave the order to attack the bridge, but if that's the case, did Obi-Wan not take the time to go over the battle plan before the battle took place? They usually call a briefing before battles, don't they? They've done it here and here. Did Obi-Wan just say, "Hey Cody, go attack that bridge. Good luck, mate." Alright, that's really the only problems I see, so we're just gonna jump into the rest of it. Alright, so Obi-Wan basically goes, "Yo, this isn't a good idea, Chief. Let's head back." Cody's like, "K boss," and they get behind some rubble. Anakin shows up and basically brags about beating his enemies first, and decides to help.
We already finished our battle, so we decided to come help you with yours.
You see, I like this moment for many reasons. You really get a sense of Anakin's character in this scene. He's not really grasping the reality of the situation that he and his comrades are in. He stands there not even acknowledging that his men are dying left and right. Not only is he disregarding the loss of life and utter turmoil around him, but he's also jokingly bantering with Obi-Wan. Now, I know these guys always like to banter during missions, but I look at Obi-Wan and judging from his mood and expressions, this is neither the time nor the place for this behavior. I mean, yeah, Anakin does have a plan, but if he was a real hero, he would just go and tell Obi-Wan his plan instantly, rather than being a braggadocious cur. Now, this is not a knock against Anakin's character. We know where he's headed, and throughout the whole Clone Wars series, the unfinished missions, and especially the last season, you can definitely tell that his regard for sentient life is definitely starting to become more depleted.
Dooku would kill me for losing Anaxis.
And you think I won't?
It's amazing to see how disregarding the rules in the beginning can snowball into something like this. But back to the battle. Obi-Wan, realizing that Anakin is clearly the better general and better strategist, decides to have faith in the younger Jedi's plan. Anakin walks right out into the open to declare a surrender. Looking at his posture, it's clear to the average person that this is someone who lacks all humility. Walking out there so arrogantly and cocky, it's almost as if he's aware of his own plot armor. Maybe it's Dave Filoni subtly winking to the audience and how he himself is aware that half of his main characters have had plot armor this entire show. Judging from how intelligent and self-aware Dave comes off in his interviews, I would not be surprised if that's exactly what this is. So Anakin's plan to surrender starts as he holds up his hands and gives his speech to the droids, this being very reminiscent to Return of the Jedi with Luke's false surrender. The similarities being the false surrender, using R2 to help initiate the revolt, and the song Pit of Carcoon / Sail Barge Assault being played. But most importantly, it's reminiscent to the beginning scene of the Clone Wars movie. Kinda like when Obi-Wan false surrenders to General Loathsome. General Loathsome?
But also aboard the ship is Commander Nefarious, Captain I'm a Bad Guy.
But that's really what the whole battle pays true homage to in a sense. The clones and the droids fight on some narrow battlefield while cannons are used by one army to bombard the other army. You have Anakin launching some kind of maneuver from the side using Rex and a couple of jet troopers. This time we see the Republic on the offensive against the droids, instead of the Republic on the defensive. This time we have Anakin using the false surrender tactic, showing that he truly has learned from his former master due to them both sharing so many battlefields together. This whole scene in a sense is kind of a celebration of it all. I just wish they hadn't done it at the expense of Obi-Wan's intelligence. I still don't like that, but whatever. Cody graciously asks Obi-Wan if he can partake in the brutal dismantling of the droids. Kenobi agrees and joins Anakin at the front, congratulating him. They do this in a very cute callback to Tartakovsky's Clone Wars series from 2003.
Nice job, my friend. Nice job. Bravo, Anakin. You've done it again.
The little stuff like this is why I wanted to make this analysis. I'm going to do a few more of these for the last 4 episodes if you guys like, and I can do a few more with Rebels maybe. Filoni knew what he was doing here, and I'm really glad to see how far he's come when it comes to pacing his own scripts. You have to understand that these Clone Wars scripts work at breakneck speed, and the amount that they accomplish in the span of around 20 to 25 minutes is just absolutely amazing. Filoni knew he had to get these characters from point A to point B in this short time span, so that the next episode could have enough time to cover what it needs you to see. Now this episode is about 26 minutes long, not counting the credits, but they still get through a lot in that time span. Intro and opening voiceover, timecode 0 to 1 minute and 1 second. Battle in Yerbana to learning that Anakin and Obi-Wan need to go to the bridge. Timecode 1 minute and 2 seconds to 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Seeing Ahsoka and Lady Bo-Katan in the message to them asking for help. 6 minutes and 11 seconds to 11 minutes exactly. Anakin talking to Ahsoka about the clones' respect for her and how much they like her. 11 minutes and 1 second to 13 minutes and 30 seconds. Learning about the attack on Coruscant to getting Ahsoka's lightsabers and saying goodbye to Anakin. 13 minutes and 31 seconds to 16 minutes and 26 seconds. Mandalore invasion fight to the docks. 16 minutes and 27 seconds to 20 minutes and 6 seconds. Battle in the city and them needing to go to the lower tunnels. 20 minutes and 7 seconds to 22 minutes and 59 seconds. Capturing the throne room. 22 minutes and 59 seconds to 24 minutes and 11 seconds. Looking for Maul in the lower tunnels and getting ambushed by Maul. 24 minutes and 12 seconds to 26 minutes and 18 seconds. This is pretty impressive. We have to finish a battle here, have a master and student meet again after much time has passed, introduce the plot for these 2 episodes, start a massive battle, and introduce a 2-decade-long Star Wars villain to the main hero in 1 episode. That is quite the task for Filoni, Nate Cormier, the editor, and the director Saul Ruiz, and they pull it off beautifully. Another episode that pulls this kind of writing off very well is episode 12 in season 2, The Mandalore Plot. Superb editing, great writing. It's just another great example I wanted to give here. Now in the next video I will talk about the scene that leads up to Order 66. I found a lot of little director's gems in there. So yeah, tell me what you guys think down in the comments. Tell me if you think you found anything that I didn't catch. This is Slov, see you guys in the next video, and have a good one.